I know there were some headaches that y'all ran into, but if you'll share with our listeners what some of those headaches were.
Well, yeah. In addition to the ones that I previously mentioned as it relates to warehousing and permitting and compliance type issues, once you get those out of the way, again, for us as a distributor and a young company, and we call ourselves a boutique wine distributor because boutique, it implies small, which we are, but it also implies, in my mind, specialty and high level of customer service, which we do. So once we've established that, we needed to get a supplier in so that we have wine to distribute. So, and that's how we connected with Gwen ultimately, and that relationship has worked out. And now it's time for us to not only overcome those hurdles. We've got a warehouse. Now we have a supplier, and now we have product in the warehouse. So what do we do next? We have to get it in retail markets. Now, that's when there's a very interesting challenge. Donald and I kind of divide our we kind of work responsibilities or task up in a couple different ways. One is business development, which kind of falls on my side, and operations, which falls on Donald's side, even though we both do everything, if you understand what I'm saying. It's a two-man shop, just like Gwen's a two-man shop or three-man shop, or whatever the case may be. But it's about pounding the pavement at that point and getting the word on the product out there in the community and in the marketplace. And because it's a new line, and there's tons and tons of distributors and wineries out there, what makes what I carry special to make room on this shelf for what we have, and we have to sell that, and it's not easy, but we're making inroads in doing that over the last year and a half. We were able to get into a variety of different restaurants and clubs and bars and retail outlets in the Triangle community, and we're continuing to do so. But it's very, very difficult to get in some of the big box stores. And wine is a volume business. It's a volume business, and even though we're very appreciative of the retail outlets that we have right now, we get in there. If you're buying a case or two cases and reorder, every other month, it's all great. But the numbers that we need in order to sustain ourselves are the numbers that come along with the Costco's and the Total Wines and Walmarts and places like that. And they don't make it easy for you either. It's a ton of paperwork that you have to complete. It's a political process that you have to overcome. And it's just challenge after challenge. So you really have to persevere, in other words, in this business in order to be successful. And those are some of the challenges that we face right now. Donald, you can piggyback on that if you so choose.
Oh yeah. Well, the challenges are the fun part. I enjoy the challenge more than anything else sometimes. But one of the things that we also bring to the table is worldwide advertising for the Shoe Crazy brand as part of our commitment to make it work. Along with, of course, our live DJ and music services as part of that package, because wine and jazz work.
Oh yeah,
they work. After work, you slap in some good music and get a glass of Shoe Crazy, put your feet up, and it's over.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's right.
and so we're looking forward to finishing off this year decently strong. We're looking at next year at being a little bit more proactive in bringing the Shoe Crazy brand to more and more people in the Triangle and Triad. And, of course, we're heading for the Queen City. They don't know it yet, but we're coming. And when they look up and see me, all I can say is I don't take no for an answer. I take no as an appointment to come and see you next month.
That's right.
And we're also starting to see the Winston-Salem area as well as Greensboro as being viable markets for what we do as well. So we've got a strategic plan in place for Q4 and for early part of 2018 that we're really looking forward to. So stay tuned. And as Donald said, it's also helpful for our company to have the music side of things. It's kind of another revenue stream to help sustain the company while we're pounding the pavement on the wine side. So it's working out for us very well. I don't know if Gwen has stopped bleeding money yet, but I know we haven't.
Yeah.
But we have a few Band-Aids on the shelf, and we're trying to make it happen.
Well, I stopped bleeding money. I put myself on a 5-year plan. We're in year 3. We're entering year 4, where we should be seeing revenue, and by middle of year 4, we should start to see some profit. But here's something else, too, and I think what Donald and James touched on just reminded me of something that I also did. I have a affinity and a love of dry wine. I have a love of dry. But the customers that I have and people that love our brand, they like sweeter wines. So as a smart businesswoman, and this is where the business piece comes in, it's not what I want to drink or what my palate loves. It's what does your customer want. So we've done a complete retooling of our product lineup, right? We've got a sparkling peach mango that we have sold out before we got it in here. We have Sweet Harmony, which is I call it a more upscale sweet wine, white wine. It's those types of things. We've got a sparkling strawberry coming out in time for the holidays. Things that normally my palate wouldn't gravitate to, but my customers love it. And we're opening up a whole new market and customer stream by retooling our product lineup. So we're going to have our dry wines for those that like dry wines, but we're going to really put forward what people are asking us for. This is what they want. And as smart business people, this is what we'll give them. Because I know I'll speak for myself here in the wine business. I know there are people in the wine business that are there because they love to coddle the grapes and trim the vines and, do the harvesting. I'm in this business to make some money, okay, and to leave a legacy for my children. I'm going to be honest, okay? I love wine. I love drinking it, but I'm here to make some money so that my kids don't ever have to have someone come to them and say, you've been laid off. They can say, I choose to sell this business if I choose to. And that's been the driving force for me. Coming from IT, and I think James can echo this. Coming from IT, they lay you off every 2 years. There's a restructuring, there's a downsizing, an upsizing, a right sizing. And for 15 and a half years, that's what I lived with, and I'm tired of it. I don't want my kids to have to live like this and my grandchildren. I want them to be able to say, my Nene, my grandma built this business for me and for us. That's what I'm driving towards.
Yeah, that makes nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
And the piggyback Gwen's comment about differentiation in marketplace. Not only is there a differentiation in taste of dry versus sweet, but you'd be surprised how different tastes are from zip code to zip code. Donald and I are finding that in some areas, rosé, you cannot keep it on the shelf. And we typically, Gwen, as you notice, when we order, rosé is not the highest ordering product for us. But when you go to a particular zip code, we have tastings over there. Rosé is the one that's going out even before Sweet Harmony. When you go to another zip code, and it's just the reverse. It's just the reverse.
Yes.
So it's interesting trying to figure all of that out and try to blend and get your inventories together where you can optimize your resources. So we're working with that formula, but we're having fun at it.
Finding out what the different people like, things of that nature. Now, Gwen, you said that you and your company actually had a deal with Costco's, and I was just curious as to how that came about, because, it's not often that a new wine company would make that kind of big deal with that kind of major corporation. So I was just wondering how that all about that you were able to secure Shoe Crazy in Costco's, which is a major chain throughout the country and everything.
Yes, and we hope to be able to expand nationally. We're in Costco's regionally here in Virginia and in Washington, D.C. But the thing that happened with us is I have a partner distributor here in Virginia who holds a vendor ID with Costco. So that's at the corporate level. They have that vendor ID. And once I found out that they had it, I became a nuisance to Costco. I mean, every Friday, every Monday. Friday was an email, Monday was a phone call. Nobody ever picked up, but I continued to leave messages. And so what initially happened is I called Costco's headquarters in California and said I needed to send a birthday card to the wine director in Virginia, and I needed her name and address. And they said, "Oh, send it to her office," and they gave me her name. I sent her a little note saying, "Hi, this is Gwen Hurt from Shoe Crazy Wine," and 2 years it took me to get in. She said, "Who are you? Who are you?" I said, "I'm Gwen. I'm the CEO of Shoe Crazy Wine." And she goes, "I know you've been calling and sending emails, for a year and a half." And she says, "I'm going to try out one of your wines. We're going to bring one in." And then it was another 6 months before it actually got into Costco. And that's kind of how it happened. It was 2 years of diligence. It's a long sales cycle for this guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, long sales cycle.
And how many of the
process?
Yeah.
Sorry?
How many of the products are actually in Costco's right now? How many of your products are actually in Costco?
We have just Sweet Harmony is in there now, and we're bringing in the Sparkling Peach Mango will be in there. Okay. And we're in 4 Costco locations, 3 in Virginia, and then the 1 in D.C.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. And like I said, the whole process, beating the concrete, the whole process is a challenge because all the people you meet, all the no's you get, and it's perseverance. It's knocking on those doors until you get the one yes, and then when you get the one yes, you perform. And the thing about being a smaller wholesaler or distributor is that they get that customer service that they're not used to. Like Gwen said, you're contacting them, you're there, and after a while, once it clicks, it becomes a stronger relationship than it does with the big boys because they just drop it in, or they get on these automatic reload contracts, and you don't see them anymore. So if you have an issue or concern about something, or if you want to schedule a tasting, they don't care. The product's in there, and they got paid, so they'll see you on the next reload, where having that one-on-one relationship with these vendors helps tremendously to overcome the biggest hurdle that I found, which is the competition. So, Gwen's perseverance works, and that's one of my motivators when I get out here and knock on the doors. Oh, you told me no? Okay, I'll see you next month. Because we know we have a good product. We know we have a good, solid support of that product. And therefore, we're going to let you know until you open that door.
Exactly.
Yeah, you better have thick skin in business. That's for sure.
Yeah. And just to follow behind what Donald and my mother were saying about how the perseverance and the due diligence and everything along those lines, it becomes more personable with how my mother and I do things, where we go in and we do make that personal connection with the owner of the liquor store or whatever establishment that we're trying to get our product into, to where we've gone as far as stating that we're the ones that will actually come in and do the promotions to where they can actually meet the owners of the business. We're not going to just send someone in because we'd rather be the ones to have more of that personal touch and have that personal relationship with every customer that we have. And I've gone from to being the waiter, the bartender, to whatever you want me to be at every event that our wine has been at, because that's how dedicated we are to what we're doing with our business and how we enjoy the personal feeling of it with every customer, with every person, and interacting with everyone. I've had so many different jobs. I don't even know. So I'm not just marketing for Shoe Crazy alone. It's everything that I do for Shoe Crazy alone.
Well, Donald and I were laughing the other day because when we actually get up in the morning and don't really know how to dress. Do we dress as salesmen today? Do we dress as delivery guys today?
I don't know what I'm supposed to put on. Do I put on my Shoe Crazy Wine shirt? Am I wearing a cocktail dress? What am I supposed to wear today?
Because where you start out is not where you might end up that day. You know,
exactly. We do everything. We are all around. We are all around. Everywhere. We should be a reality TV show.
You're right.
Sounds like definite makers of a reality TV show.